What's up, guys? It's Chance with Passive with a Purpose
Good
here.
stuff.
Yeah. Back with another Chats with Chance podcast, and normal gets you nowhere. Passive with a Purpose. This is podcast number 6. So I got a special guest on tonight. I got my old daddy, but
Not so old.
yeah, not so old
Yeah.
daddy o. Yep. But all right. So this is just kind of open mic night. We decided to get on here and just do a little short one for you guys tonight here and everything. And I've been so confused this week. I've been going so much for work. I don't even know hardly what day it is, but I think it's Thursday. So we got the weekend coming up.
What that's got to do with you being confused? I mean, kind of par for the course, ain't it?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we just had to get a podcast out for this week, and I wanted to get some more stuff and more content out for you guys, and so yeah, I'm fixing to shut up and kind of leave it open mic there. But normally, we have a little list of topics that we want to talk about, and so we don't really have that tonight. I know we got the weekend coming up here soon, another few days, but yeah, I'll just kind of leave it open floor to you there and see if we can come up with some topics to kick around here.
Uh, AI.
Okay.
Are we?
All right.
What do you think's the are the pros? Some of the pros, some of the cons, whatever.
Hmm. Let's see. Well, yeah, I've been kind of definitely looking into that and everything, and been watching a bunch of my
I
normal.
mean, I'm sorry, I
Oh
didn't
no,
mean
you're
to
good. You're
interrupt, but I
good.
mean, and not necessarily not on a investing level, but on a just
Oh
like
yeah,
what
yeah,
it
just
what
in
it can
general.
do for
Hmm.
or to society.
Oh yeah, yeah. I try to keep up with a little bit of that and stuff when I'm on the road traveling. That's one fortunate thing that I love about my job. Got my 2 year old son Charles, man, over there pigging out.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
losing my mind. I'm not talking to nobody on off
yeah,
camera
no,
now.
he's talking to my son over there. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, yeah, I mean, I try to keep a watch on it, and that's something that I love about my job and what I get to do. I get to travel and drive, so I've always got a little time on my hands to pull up a good podcast and kind of watch and listen to while I'm on the road. Mostly listen to if I'm driving, um, but then so yeah, I've been keeping up with it, and I've heard a lot of talk this week on it, and I feel like eventually the downside. I guess I'll kind of get the downside out of the way because I don't know. I still see kind of, I guess, not necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess I see more upside with it than downside. But I mean, yeah, on a longer scale, I see more downside because, yeah, eventually I feel like it will get to the point where it replaces us and everything and starts cutting out jobs and on down along that line. But right now in the early stages, I guess, so that's kind of bad side, and then good side, it is just kind of making everybody's life somewhat more easier, or what they think or whatever, or what they perceive to be as easy to them in that time, because most people that use it the most, in my opinion, aren't the type people that really hustle really super hard anyways, like as far as like uh-oh, I might just offended daddy over here.
You know, I use it for songwriting, don't you?
Yeah, he uses his for songwriting, but
Music and vocals, anyway.
yeah, music and vocals. So, long story short, just real quick, I'll wrap up my side and let you talk. But I just kind of feel like most people that do
Oh,
use
we
it,
let
they use it to like just use it to their super advantage, like for just crazy. They want to be like oh, I want to get AI, so I don't even have to get up and go to my fridge. Like it can come in with a robot and make me meals and stuff, so I won't even have to get up off the couch, things like that. And then I understand that it's getting big technologically too, and people are just using it like big companies and businesses are using it to. But even in the big company and businesses and stuff, they're starting to implement more robots like we was talking
yeah,
about, and it's not in a lazy aspect for big businesses. Big businesses just see it as a money saver to
yeah.
cut people, to cut jobs, and they don't have to pay the robots. I've heard people talk, and they say that they're like Amazon. I think has already got a few robots working for them, and they say they never need any maintenance. They just keep going. They'll work like 12, 14 hour shifts. No, they don't complain. They don't have to pay them. So just it's a benefits big companies.
kind of
Yeah.
resent that lazy comment. Why y'all always getting on lazy people? We doesn't even do nothing.
Right. I seen that. He shared a thing on Facebook the other day that said that. He said, "Why is everybody getting on lazy people? Well, they ain't even done nothing." That's true. That's
Nah,
true.
I think you're right. I mean, it's like every new gadget or new trend, new thing that's come along, big things, even industrial revolution
Yeah.
or whatever. There's pros and cons. Just from what I'm reading and seeing, in different things I watch on YouTube and all that, and I know that's you got to take some of that with a grain of salt, but it, the main difference I think in this is that it's going to be so much more of a change in such a shorter period of time. Like we
Yeah.
was talking about the
That's
other
true.
day, the industrial revolution was over a generation, might as well say. It didn't just kind of overnight
Mhm.
boom. The car replaced the horse and I mean, well, that kind of did happen almost overnight. But
Yeah.
the whole process, automation and stuff, where a lot of factory workers got replaced and stuff like that. It happened in a over a period of time to
Mhm.
where people moved on to different things. And this AI, a lot of the so-called, I guess, experts and people that's supposed to know, they're saying that this will, the way it grows exponentially, that within, you hear different time periods, but say within 5 years maybe we reach what they call AGI,
Yeah. Yeah.
artificial general intelligence, and then maybe
Mhm.
another
The
2 or 3 years
super.
from then, yeah, ASI,
Mhm.
and it's gonna, so you're talking a 10, 12, 15 year period overall, and it's going, it can do, people already, we're doing I know this isn't necessarily AI, but it's technology. People are doing remote doctor's visits, by
Mhm.
video,
Yeah.
and I've been hearing them talking about they have AIs that will, you know, scan test results, do things like that.
Mhm.
So, it's not just going to be putting the blue collar factory workers out of business necessarily, but lawyers,
Yeah.
that stuff will write up contracts, that stuff will do
Mhm.
this, that, and that. It's just from the line, assembly line type workers on up to doctors, lawyers, whatever. This stuff is going to be, and it's, I don't know. It's like
Oh
everything. It's a
yeah.
double-edged sword. That's good in a lot of ways, and bad, I guess, in a lot of ways too. But the thing I'm worried about is that and I use AI,
Oh yeah.
for like
Oh
we
yeah. And
talked
I use
about,
it
but
some too. I was cutting
yeah,
up, but
but at least a percentage of the people, like I think, like we've talked about before, I think if you offered them a pill or some kind
mhm.
of microchip or special machine or AI program or whatever
Mhm.
algorithm that would do their thinking for them in everyday life, even that that would
Mhm.
do their thinking, make their decisions, and do everything for them, that they would take it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Me too. I
you know,
agree
and
with
I
you there,
I don't,
100%.
and it could come to where we have machines smart enough
Mhm.
to do all that, but I don't want to. I still want to make my own decisions
Yes.
about my own life. I want
Mhm.
to, I'm just afraid that we will lose a big chunk of our humanity
Yeah.
in all of this.
Mhm.
The thing that makes us unique and human. We're
Yep.
so eager to give up personal responsibility. I
Mhm.
don't want to have to figure out, this or that, or make this decision or that decision. Let me just, feed the information to AI and let it make my decision. And that, I
Mhm.
don't know. That just,
Yeah.
that's
That's
kind of
true.
kind of the scary part to me, is that we're losing our humanity.
Yeah, yeah, and that's very good to touch on for sure, and I agree with that 100%. Same way, and I actually kind of retract my comment earlier, what I said about how it, has more downsides because overall, like if you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, or if you look at where it is going in 20 to 30 years or so, yeah, I would definitely hands down say that it's going to do more damage and actually kind of hurt more than it'd be good, but just kind of I guess when we first started talking about it a while ago, I was just looking at it as I jumped right into the more short term side of it, but just early on stuff. But yeah, yeah, definitely when we get to that super intelligent mark someday, whenever it is, whether it's 15 years, 30 years, whenever. But I'm like you, I agree that it is going to come on faster than later for
And
sure, and then
yeah,
quick.
and when
But
it's
yeah.
integrated more into robots and stuff, because
Mhm.
robotics is advancing so fast too. When the AI and the robotics really get integrated together, I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know, in a way, it's just goodness,
Goodness, buddy.
just a little bit scary. And when I
Mhm.
was talking a while ago, they probably nobody heard it because I'm not used to holding a little feather thingy close to
Oh,
myself when I
that's
talk or
okay.
anything.
Yeah, I was gonna
I was
say you
going to
do
use
have
that to powder my face, by the way, but
to. Yeah, it does look like a women's makeup
yeah,
tool.
I thought I was supposed to put on some blush or something. But somebody
Yeah.
before we started, I was waiting on somebody holler makeup.
Right, right. But that's okay.
That's funny. Yeah, it's so
Whoa,
funny, man.
Charles was wanting to say
Yeah,
something too. But yeah, it's all right. It'll probably pick it up no further away than we are from the
yeah.
camera here. But yeah, it usually does help the closer you are. But like I say, it probably got it good enough. But yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that for sure. And I don't know, like I say, what this world's going to look like when it gets to the super artificial part or whatever, or the intelligence. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely something that's going to hurt us longer in the long run. I feel like the Elon Musk, the Tesla thing, they were supposed to release the robots in June or July of 2026. They were supposed to have that autonomous. Let's see, what's they call it?
Autonomous.
Yeah, yeah, that. But I was trying to think of the exact his exact model of it or whatever. It's called something.
Oh,
His exact robot,
oh yeah.
the very model that was going to be released, and I can't remember what it
I
was
know
now.
the
But
AI platform is called
yeah,
Grok,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
sure about
yeah.
what
Yep, but he had his actual like real, the real full blown
the. Yeah.
robots that's the size of the humans and stuff that they're training to be able to work and do factory work and come in and clean your house and things like that. We'll see. They were supposed to release it June of next year. Well, then they ran into some holds on it, like for something happened or whatever, and this come up and they ran into some holds. So maybe that's kind of just at least in that particular department or whatever, it's kind of pushed back some things. But they've already got the cars, in Austin, Texas, as drives the self taxis and stuff and all that. They've already got that and
Let me
all
bend over
that.
and pick up something here. I'm not trying to disappear from the
Oh,
scene.
oh, you're good. But yeah, so they've already got the automated driving cars and all that for sure. That's definitely a thing, and so that's kind of scary within itself. And yeah, my friend Levi always tells me he's like, yeah, we're done. He said we're literally done because he said in the next 15 years all of our jobs are going to be replaced and all that. And that's from a entrepreneurship business standpoint. That's what you want to be focusing on in the next 10 years or 15 years, in my opinion, is focus and find a good job that it's not going to be replaced or whatever. He just said kind of somebody said on a YouTube video to step back, look at the bigger picture where you want to be at in 5 to 10 years, and look at and look and try to differentiate between like could that be replaced by a robot? Could this be replaced by a robot? And find those jobs like that, and then stick to the field that can't be.
And most everything, at some point might
Mm-hmm.
might can be the way we're going,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's the thing. I was watching. I forget who it was, but some kind of podcast on that stuff the other day, and I'm going blank on what it was, but it was something in the medical field. Anesthesiologist,
Oh
I think
yeah.
it was, and
Hmm.
those jobs are high paying
Yeah.
jobs too. And the way I understood it, we're already to the point, or almost to the point, where you take a big hospital per se that has 10, 12, whatever anesthesiologists,
Mhm.
said that they could be replaced with, they might keep one anesthesiologist to be like the supervisor, but all the rest will be replaced with AI. AI
Hmm.
can be trained to administer the anesthetic just like
Dang.
so it, like I said, it's not going to
Yeah.
affect just blue
Oh
collar people.
yeah.
It's going to affect everything, in which it'll make, yeah, like
Mm.
they say, it'll probably make a lot of millionaires, people
Hmm.
who own stock in it or whatever, or if you learn to use it the right
Yeah.
way, which is good, but there's going to be a lot of people that for whatever reason and through no fault of their own, that just ain't the way they're wired, and they
Hmm.
may not want to. even learn to
Mhm.
use that. You know,
Yeah.
Paul, for
Yeah.
example, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
he don't want to learn nothing about
Exactly.
AI or
Yep.
anything like
Phil
that.
Robertson that just passed away. He didn't even have a cell
Yeah,
phone.
and
He called the cell phones the black box.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
just that evil black box or
and you
whatever.
know, and then some people that they maybe it's not necessarily that they don't want to learn, but not everybody's going to be able to
Mhm.
have the ability to or know even how to begin to leverage that AI to make them a
Mhm.
millionaire. You know, it's going to make some super
Exactly.
rich people, but it's going to make some super
Mhm.
poor people too. You know,
Mhm.
like I said, I guess it's just unless they do come out with some kind of
Yeah.
UBI or
Yeah.
something. You know, like if it getting it, we may all be wrong. All the hype and everything
Yes.
else, it may not ever get to the point where
Yeah.
they're
I hope
talking
so for
about it,
sure.
but
I hope so.
I mean, it's like we talked about the other day, though. This is definitely, definitely an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah.
What whichever direction
Yeah.
it goes, you know, it's interesting anyway.
Mhm. So there
Okay,
you have it,
fun, man.
folks. You've heard it here first on that. Well, actually, you haven't because everybody says it, but
Yeah.
it is a very interesting time to be alive. Like, what
Yes, it
crazy
is.
times we're living in. And so, hey, we're blessed for sure. But yeah, yeah, so AI is definitely a big, broad topic that's going to be, got a feeling you're going to be hearing it everywhere in the next few years and stuff for sure. And especially as all this other online stuff that comes on, like the cryptocurrencies and things like that, and investing and all. But
I don't
but
believe
oh
they'll
yeah,
come out with no robot that can outfish us, though. It's gonna
that's
be a while
right.
before they get a robot that can set the hook and you know at the right time and the proper time. I mean, of course, I can't either, but I mean, but at least I
Uh,
have fun trying. But I don't believe they'll have no robots out there fishing.
that's right. That's true.
That's
Yep.
one part of our humanity we need to keep for sure. Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, yep. It's like I was telling you that video I watched just the other day. The guy was talking about. He said like, you have to kind of look for opportunities and new trends coming on and stuff. And that's exactly what he said. He said, that looks like the next upcoming trend is going to be kind of, outdoor nature
When
stuff like
people
that.
get
And like when people,
tired of the
yeah,
AI or whatever,
and
yeah.
technology in general. He said they're going to start looking for events like that to go to, like especially if you was talking about the UC or the UBI thing or whatever comes along, people are going to be getting paid to literally
Hey,
sit
go
around and
yeah.
do nothing. So then they're going to be looking to go out and go out to these tourist attractions like zoos, places where they can see things like travel sites, like all these events and stuff like zip lining places, like so things like that. I think are going to still make a comeback eventually too, and because he said something about there was a guy that done a backpacking channel out in Brazil or something that was getting a bunch of views and stuff and just exploding like crazy, and so he said so maybe that was the best plan all along or something like that, to do just a little. And it's like the Outdoor Boys channel or whatever, they're growing. They grew super fast. The Outdoor Boys, those guys that camp up in Alaska, they got like 13 million subscribers or something like that. And so y'all stay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I had a flashback to when I was 22. Sorry.
That's pretty
When
good.
I didn't crush it on my hand.
Right, right. Hey, this
Having
man's
some
been known to.
RC Cola.
That's right. This man's been known to put some down back in the day, but that's pretty good. But yeah, they've grew a lot, and y'all stay tuned for that too because we're gonna do a lot more wintertime camping this year. I'm working on my trailer camper build right now. I may end up just buying one. I'm not sure yet, but I may probably end up building that one out. But we're gonna have us a little travel go camper that we can go and take out to the woods. We'll have the little wood stove in it and all. And then I'm still going to do a bunch of backpacking and tent camping for you guys too when it gets real cold this winter. I'm excited for that. But let's see. So let's get back on that fishing topic real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, we need to holler at Frankie again and definitely go fishing again
Yeah,
soon for sure.
yeah, I'm ready for
Yeah.
we ain't fished near as much as we usually do over the
Mm-hmm.
last couple years, but or as we
Mm-hmm.
used to usually do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, yeah. We love some fishing down here in Georgia. The most common question I get asked with fishing is just like, because I travel all over for work, so I go to like Michigan, Texas, South Carolina, you name it, West Virginia. They a lot of people. I met a guy in Rome the other day, down there on Broad Street, and he said he said he was from Florida. He said, "What all kind of fish y'all got up here and stuff?" I guess he was just a younger boy, like 21, 22, so he probably didn't really know being from Florida his whole life and stuff. And so I told him I was like probably about the same things that y'all have down there in y'all's like inlands, the freshwater and stuff and everything. And I said we got the blue cat, the flathead, and catfish and crappie, however you want to say it, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, and the old shell crackers, bluegill, brim, whatever you want to call them and stuff. And I know there's a difference between the two little ones, but like
And
the
don't
bluegill
forget
and
the bugle mouth bass,
yeah, yep,
aka carp.
yep, the old bugle mouth bass. I forgot about that, but yeah, we got some carp up here too. But so I was just saying that to if you're watching this out there to kind of give y'all an insight on some fish that we got down here in Georgia. If you're if you're getting to the retirement age and in some northern states your whole life and want to come down here to the south and check it out, I advise bringing a big old paddle for these big old mosquitoes that could stand up and pistol whip a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it for sure because it's this humidity and heat down here. I was talking to a guy up in Ohio just the other day, and he said, "Man, y'all can keep y'all's humidity down here. It's horrible."
Yeah,
But
that humidity is rough, boy.
yeah, yep.
Best way I heard it described, I don't remember if somebody told me kind of as a joke or if it was something on Facebook or what, but anyway, it said if you want to know what the humidity's like in Georgia, it said take a hot shot, steaming hot, just as hot as you can stand. When you get out, don't dry off, put your clothes on. And
Uh
that's
huh.
what it feels like.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I like that.
Yeah.
I definitely like that for sure. But yep. Definitely. So but yeah, I was listening to that Chad Wright's podcast the other day, and I was telling Heather about it. I was just driving down the road, and you're just listening to this random podcast that you don't know anything about or really or know where it's from or nothing. And then that guy on there was talking about like water and stuff. He just randomly started talking about water and the AI plants and stuff that was needing to draw so much water and power and all that and everything. But he said, see Atlanta, he said in the metro area around Atlanta is getting scarce on water. And then he randomly just said, but up there in Chattooga County, it's just boiling out of the ground. And so that's what first gave me that insight to kind of check into him and see where he was from. Because for some reason, I was thinking he was um, from North Carolina. If you ever see this, Chad Wright, this is a shout out to you, man. Thanks for your service and thanks for everything that you do, man. You're a warrior, and I know there's a lot of people that thinks a lot of you, and you've changed a lot of people's lives, man, with your testimony and your story of being in the Navy SEALs and all. And like I say, you're close to where I'm from, just a few miles from where I'm from. But yeah, they so yeah, like I say, and then so then I started kind of clicking on it again and researching it, and I realized that I'd been subscribed to his channel for like a bunch of years, and it just been a long time since I'd watched any of his videos. But he's got some good videos out there. He likes squirrel hunts every day, and he got out of the military and he built him like a farm place out there, and he's got chickens and goats, and he tries to live just super simple, and I think he's got a son and all, but yeah, so I like how because he talks about his whole journey from the start, from like when he first joined the military and stuff, and how his quality of life today is just like just immeasurable. Like because he's always been a big fitness person. Like he's into doing those big run-ins and stuff, and he runs for people. He runs like for the people who can't, and kind of does like
Yeah.
charity runs and stuff and all that. And so he's a big person. Like he's got a good heart because he just does it for just to be doing it pretty much for and he takes people he's got like a little group where he comes in like does it through the church and stuff too, like does it where he don't charge no money or nothing. He just comes through and lets people come out and do those runs for people and all that. But yeah.
That is, that's good. And what I've seen of him, I like what he does too, and I'm like you, definitely thanks for the service, for
Oh
his
yeah.
service. But on the jogging subject, I just will tell you this. If I'm dead and you ever find my body laying along a jogging trail or something, just know it was murder. Somebody killed me and drugged me there, drugged my body there.
Well, there you have it, folks. But yeah, I put down I jogged a mile for the first time today in about 4 months, and it made me feel good. I've got to get back at it. I like Chad saying on that. He's like, if you're fat and out of shape, he's like, and if you want to get better, he's like, you got to unfat yourself. So that's what I've been trying to work on is unfatting myself. That's been the journey and process that I've been trying to go down the past few days. But did you hear about up in Chattanooga the other day? That was my prime example of kind of what I like about his lifestyle and the choices he makes of always being ready and prepared for any kind of situation. Because did you see up there in Chattanooga what happened just a day or two ago with the
All that flooding.
yeah, and just all of a sudden just taking all those cars down, and then
Yeah.
what if you're just driving down the road just like they was,
And
bright
all of a
sunny day,
sudden,
and then all of a sudden just this rain, a foot comes in,
yeah,
the levee gets let down or whatever, or the drains come over. And so yeah, the Chattanooga area up here close to us got flooded just the other day, and there was people. It was like a little mini catastrophe. I mean, there was people. The cars were floating down the road. There was people trapped in cars. There was like 4 people died. And so see, it's stuff like that right there that you just have to be ready for. That could be unexpected, come out of nowhere. And I mean, there was people like carrying people out of cars, like having to get them out and all that. So yeah. But what do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, my heart goes out to them people for
Hmm.
sure. I'm just glad we had never had anything like
Yeah.
that where we're at. We've had some bad
Hmm.
flooding up here before, but I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah.
you don't, we don't think enough about how grateful. I mean, about
Yeah.
how fortunate we are. We're not grateful enough for.
Hmm.
In a lot of cases, we just take things for granted. But
Hmm.
they're like that old saying, "But for the grace of God, there go I."
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. That's true.
yeah, we don't think about how we ought to be grateful. I
Hmm.
get to sometimes, I'll get to thinking, oh, I got this going on, got that going on, whatever. And then, man, but all you got to do is look around just a little bit. My little old pissy problems ain't nothing.
Hmm.
I ain't got no problems compared to what
Yeah.
some other people are going through.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. Yep, got to be grateful. And I can say right now that I take stuff for granted all the time, but I
Yeah,
take every day for granted, but I try not to. But yep, that is for a fact. But but oh yeah. Uh, seen somebody talking about the whole overall wearing thing, so we'll
yeah,
touch on that real quick too. But I'm surprised he dressed up today. He said he broke out his fall gear early because he always tries to push the weather and talk it
yeah.
into it early. But he usually, this man right here
We
usually
haven't been
wears
but just
overalls every
back
day.
below 80 for the high, and I'm already trying to rush fall in here.
Yep, yep. When I went up to Michigan the other day, it was like 67 up there, and it felt like 57 because I was used to all this humidity down here and all, but it felt good up there. I was like 5 miles from the Canada line, y'all. So yeah,
Canada.
Canada,
Yeah.
Canada, Canada. But
Take off, eh? You hoser.
yeah, yep. They definitely a lot of them had an accent up there, but
Yay.
yeah. But yeah. So let's talk about some overalls there for a minute. I heard somebody talk about earlier on a podcast that it was they're starting to get to where like less native people are from that area, and like how people just moved in and crowdsourced everything. A lot of people from far off and moved in.
It just went over my what are you talking about? What area people are
Um,
less native?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot I left that part out about the town. I'm sorry. I was thinking it in my mind, but I forgot
We
to
went from
convey it.
overalls to they're starting to
Uh,
say people are less native from the area, and what the
but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention the town. That was my bad, y'all. That was my bad. So the town that guy was talking about in his podcast.
where Liberty
Uh,
overalls are made? Is that?
yeah, no,
Oh,
no, not necessarily where they were made, but just like small
oh, where
country
he
towns.
lived at or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
small country towns. This is just me kind of starting back over, going into it. So small country towns, where a lot of people like back in the day, like probably 20, 30 years ago, were in overalls like every single day, and like a lot of the farmers were still around and still owned the farmland and all that. They're saying these days, like they're traveling through those same towns, the people are, and what they're finding is that a lot of less people are wearing overalls. The generation is kind of changing. There's a lot of there's more people from like out of town just everywhere. You just see this like huge kind of rate of inflate or like a increase in population. There's just like it's just and then all these older farmers are you can't blame them, but they're selling off their farmland for like millions of dollars and stuff and everything and all that and giving up the family heritage and all. But mainly just touching on the topic of just overalls in that sense. But like I say, this man here usually is in a pair every single day still, and I know my boss he wears a pair about every day still, and I've got some in there
They
the
don't
drawer.
make no more comfortable wardrobe than a pair of
Mm-mm.
overalls. I mean, you got plenty of pocket room, bib pockets, regular pockets, whatever. They comfortable,
Hmm.
easy to get in and out of. Just a little aggravating when you, especially if you're out in the woods or something, and you go, you have to answer the call of nature. You better be careful.
Yep, yep.
But yeah,
That's a good way to put it. I like
yeah,
that. I like that. But
yeah, they,
yeah.
but they are sure enough, man. I love to wear overalls.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely need to. I'm gonna start wearing them more here in a little bit. I meant to break mine out the other day, but especially as it gets a little more cooler around and fall comes on. But oh yeah.
And they were talking on that same show. You're talking about how hot they were. To me, they've never really been hot. I mean, they're no hotter than blue jeans or something. To me, I
Hmm.
know you got the part that comes up here that blue jeans don't have, but I'm usually just got a little t-shirt or some kind of short sleeve
Hmm.
shirt on under it, and I don't know. I never have really noticed overalls being hot. I guess they're hotter
Hmm.
than shorts if you're a short wearer, but I don't ever wear shorts or nothing. So
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I definitely have been hot in my liberties because like there, it just seems like they're more of a kind of I guess thicker pair. But those two or three new pairs I bought from down there at work, they've been like that. It seems like one pair I've got like that's old and broken in, and they're real thin and they're breezy. But the other pairs are real thick and heavy. So I don't know. I hadn't wore overalls enough for the years, or don't know enough about them to know if they make like a real thin pair for the summer, and if they make like the thick pair like for the winter or
yeah.
whatever. But I think the Liberty brand kind of sticks to that thicker wintertime material, and I think that's the ones they were talking about probably because mine are like that. I know mine when I put them on, it feels like I was sweating like you was
Hmm.
talking about as soon as you walk out and everything, and I've got some pairs like
Yeah.
that I've noticed are a little
I just
hotter.
never have noticed that.
But then my other thin pair in there that's wore out and wore down, they're breezy. I don't never get hot in them too bad.
Now this wardrobe, by the way,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Let's give it a
from
shout out. Let's see what you got
from
on there.
Light in the Box, and I'm no way affiliated with them unless they want to send me a check for mentioning their name. But this is very thin material, lightweight, fall
Yes,
wardrobe, but it's very lightweight,
yes, yes,
comfortable, lace up.
yes. Got the
Top,
cowboy
yeah, it's
culture
got that
rocking. I
kind of,
like that.
yeah, kind of the ladylike thing there. But I'm secure in my manhood. Yeah, I'm secure in my
Yes,
manhood. But yes, this is
yes,
lightweight, keeps you a little warm, but not at all
yes.
heavy, awkward, or
He didn't
anything.
mean ladies like. He meant lady like.
Yeah, did I say ladies like? Yeah, I meant lady like. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Yes,
And you
yes,
can't buy these though at billstractorparts.com.
yes,
We don't
yes.
sell any wardrobe
Yes,
at
that's what I was gonna say.
billstractorparts.com.
Yeah, shout out. I meant to say that. Yeah, y'all
Yes.
go check out billstractorparts.com. That's what my dad does for a living. He sells tractor parts and car parts and stuff. And so yeah, if you're in the well, you go worldwide
And
now,
the
don't you?
physical location is
Yeah.
6203 Highway 114, Lyerly, Georgia 30730. If you want to give us a call, 706-895-2013.
There you go. There you go. I'll put a link in the description down there with some of
Shameless
that
plugs.
information. Hey, that's it. And yeah, y'all go check out my merch too. We got the t-shirts and stuff that say take chances and go be famous and all that. And so as we progress, hopefully we can kind of get our merch store up there and everything. I did have my Shopify and my whole store set up, and I just kind of turned it off or canceled it a while back. But yeah, you can still reach me through social. On Facebook, it's Chance Gilliland or Passive with a Purpose on my channel. So you can reach out, shoot me a DM if you want a T-shirt. We got about any size available and stuff. but yeah, and so yeah, you'll go check out his store there. I'll put that in the description, and y'all just comment down below and see what you thought about, or tell me what you think about the show tonight, and we appreciate you listening, and subscribe if you're new and if you enjoyed.
Or you can check out the eBay store at
Yeah.
bgcollectiblesplus.com.
There you go.
That'll
BG.
forward you to our eBay store.
There you go. Yeah, he sells on eBay. He can go worldwide and stuff. So that's bgcollectiblesplus.com. Yeah, bgcollectiblesplus.com. So, oh yeah. Well, let's talk about just a few more short little things real quick, and then we'll close it up for the day. I was trying to think of another one because we've done AI, and then we kind of talked on investing a little bit and stuff about that, but I don't really want to go deep
I
into that.
started
But
work yesterday on a new job working for Old McDonald, didn't you?
no,
On his farm, yeah, they made me the CIEO.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Yep. Oh yeah. Um, let's talk about some goals or whatever, and some like ambitions. Like, let's just say when it got winter time or whatever, and if you could, let's just say if we was to the point where we could just cut ties from our jobs right now, and just we was funded pretty good, wasn't rich or nothing, but just had enough to go on a trip. Where you want to go on your next trip?
I'm pretty simple. It's hard to beat Gatlinburg, but now if I guess if money were no, even though I'm a wintertime person and like the summer, one of the things I've always wanted to do if money were no object is take a big old trip out into the deep blue sea out, I think it's usually a 2 day trip from shore out in the deep water
Marlin.
where they check, yeah, where they catch those big old marlin and stuff. And I
I
would
knew it.
love to catch a big blue marlin.
Mhm.
Uh, that's kind of a bucket list thing or whatever. But
Yeah.
as far as just like a place to visit, besides somewhere here in America, would probably, I love snow. Something I've always thought I'd love to go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Switzerland or Norway, one of those
Yeah.
countries like that. They say those
Switzerland.
mountains are beautiful and
Mhm.
of course snowy. I know I'd probably freeze to death, but Switzerland or Norway, somewhere like that, I would love to go to.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
hey, I
you?
like it. I am me. Yeah, I was gonna say if we're
But no, I
talking.
mean, and where would you like to
Oh,
go?
I
Or
know. I
what?
I
Yeah.
know that's what I'm saying. And me,
Oh,
shoot, I'm a wintertime fanatic all the way around. I mean, you talking to somebody who they thought I got kicked out this past winter at work, and everybody started blowing up, texting me when they see me camping out there in like 2 inches of snow and 35-degree weather when I had my tent set up, and I was trying to get a fire started the next morning, and my feet lost feeling for 3 days. I got frostbite in my feet. It got so cold, but I just got lucky that when I looked at the temperature the next morning that it was only supposed to be 28 degrees and not no 17 or 19, or I would have literally almost like froze to death, and probably, or I would have had to just get up and walk out in the middle of like at about 3 or 4 in the morning. But so I love the wintertime. Like that's what I live for. I like to camp out in it and stuff. So it makes good content and people enjoy it and like to see it. But I enjoy doing it myself. So probably I've always wanted to go to Montana, like eventually Alaska. I want to go to Alaska, but the very first trip I'm going to take. Remind me, I'll show you a video on my phone here in a little bit. I've got it all planned out. I think it's pretty neat. But because
you
you
and
gotta,
Mikey both got that in
yeah,
common. He's always wanted to go to
yeah,
Montana.
yeah. I've heard that Montana's super pretty, and my friend Rusty went a while back, the one from town here. He went and he got a bunch of beautiful pictures out there. So I want to go. I want to go on an elk hunt and get me an elk, and I want to go to Montana and see it, and then just and I want to buy a place up there eventually. Like you hear people around here buying places in Maine and all that, but I want to buy a place in Montana and then just rent it out for the seasons I'm not there. Travel up there when it's summertime here, and then come back when it's wintertime here and stay here and have me kind of like a 6 month type thing where I go up there for 6 months, come back here for 6 months, something like that. And that way I'm still around home for half the time that I used to be or something like that. But yeah, I want to go to Montana. Oh
Montana.
yeah. Yep. Oh, Montana. Montana. I've got 20 states down so far out of the 50. So So yeah, so
Man,
I've been to a full 20, and
yeah, I
that's not
see 'em.
even fully. That's just
Some
the
of them on your map.
yeah, that's
Been
just
marked.
the ones that me and my wife have been to together. So like, so if that was just mine right there, I'd have, like I say, I got 20 knocked off now. So all I got to do is hit about 20, or what is it, 40? No, 30. Hey,
I'll be on all 60 states before you know
30.
it.
So
That never was your strong suit.
no, no, it wasn't. No, so 30 more to go. 30 more to go, and I'll have seen all 50 of them.
That's counting Alaska and
Yeah,
Hawaii,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
There'd
and
only
that's
be
yeah,
28 more to go if you're
yeah,
counting the upper
yeah,
48,
oh
but
yeah.
yes.
But no, I like I said, I'm gonna go all 50. I almost said all 100. I want to go all 50 one day. But yep. So yeah, y'all stay tuned, guys, and if you subscribe, I hope y'all stay along for the journey. We'd really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll get to make that a reality someday for you guys. And if you like I say, if you like the content, comment down below like some more things you want to see, because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm here to tell you right now, I'm sticking with this podcast thing because it's fun and I enjoy it. It's relaxing. I can sit here and drink my coffee. I can look up stuff on the computer. I mean, it's just something that's fun for me to do that I don't consider work, and it's easy.
Work.
Yeah. Let me talk to your. Go ahead.
I just want to say too, talking about commenting things that you'd like to see on here and all. I'm not commenting in the little comment box, but I'm just saying one day we need to have the dad joke battle on here.
Oh yeah, yep, we will.
Yeah,
We will.
we need to
Yep.
have the dad joke battle.
We got these dad joke things going around, and we will make it happen for sure. Sorry about that, guys. I yawned on the microphone, but that's something I try not to do. But uh, so but yeah, my wife just yawned over and she made me, but it was contagious. Oh, there you go. But yeah, so we're gonna have this dad joke challenge, and
No yawn. No
oh,
yawn.
so yeah, we're gonna have this dad joke challenge, and we will make it happen for sure. But real quick, let me talk to you about, and then we'll close it out. Last subject, real quick. Give me your best definition of what you think retirement is, and then I'm gonna give you mine.
I don't know. To me, retirement, what what I hope to be able to do in retirement anyway. Everybody's different, I know, but mine is not much different from my daily goals nowadays. I just want to be happy. I don't want to be miserable or too old to do anything. I just want to be as good as I can to people, have people in my life that's good to me. It'd be nice to be able to travel a little bit or whatever. But the main thing, I don't know, I guess just a simple person, and I mean, I just want to be able to do what I want to when I want to, but that ain't going to be stuff that entails a bunch of money. That might be coming up at your house, hanging out and
Mm-hmm.
shooting a bull for a little while because I ain't got to work that day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't want to have no big stack of gold stashed back over there for my retirement or whatever. I just, like I said, pretty much like today, I just want to be happy and have a good life, which I got right
Mm-hmm.
now. So
Oh
I'm pretty
yeah.
much
Feel like you're
doing the
retired
same
now.
thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm retired now, except
Mm-hmm.
for I go to work every day. And
Yeah.
the only difference when I retire will be that I won't go to work every day, but I'll still, like me and you have talked about
Mm-hmm.
before, I'm probably, even when I hang up the store or whatever, turn it over to somebody or whatever
Mm-hmm.
if they want it.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm probably still going. I'll have that warehouse full of junk over there, and I'll be.
Mm-hmm. Get to
I wouldn't want
filter.
to just sit around and
Yeah.
do nothing. So I mean, I'd piddle with it, and sell online, sell on eBay, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's fun that I enjoy, but not necessarily stuff that you know. I mentioned Switzerland and all that. I know. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
would be nice to go somewhere like that. But that's not like a dream or anything. It's just
Right.
something that I'd like to
Yeah.
do one
Yeah.
day. But I mean, but the main thing, I just want to be happy and have a simple life, enjoy my friends and my family,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, just like I do now.
Oh yeah.
Only difference is going to be that I ain't got to go to work that morning if I
Yeah.
don't want to.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much that hits it right on the head. That's kind of the same way I feel, you guys. The and a big thing about him is he's like an entrepreneur. You know, he's self-employed. He works for himself, so it's not like he's been chained and bound down to some big corporation, like wearing a suit and tie every day, waking up in the morning, going to a job. You work 40 years for a job you hate, and then you do it for 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then you only get to retire on like 40% of your income, like 40% of your potential. The 401k, the 40-40-40 government rule, where you work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then you get to retire on 40% of your income. Because if you'd have like invested, or if you had done some kind of other route in life, or created your own business, you could have tapped into to like 1.5 million or 2 million, but yet you're settling for 40% of your income, which is only 300,000 to 600,000. Which, and don't get me wrong, that's still a great amount of money, and I'd like to be able to retire with that someday. But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I mean, you got to find your passions in life and something that you enjoy doing. And when you find something you enjoy doing, it comes naturally. That's one thing I've learned from everybody I've ever interviewed or talked to in my life. 26 years old now. I've interviewed a bunch of people and talked to them and got their opinions. And some people older than me, some people my age, some people younger than me, and that's what they all say. They say, just chase your passion, young man. Do what you enjoy doing, what makes you happy, and the money will come, the success will come. And like I say, success is, like you said, everybody's got different
Yeah.
intentions, goals. Everybody defines success in different ways. But that's me. Like, I don't feel retired yet, because I don't have a successful like podcast channel yet or whatever. But one day I do see myself being just a podcaster and like an investor. So one day I want to get to the point, just like you're saying, I want to get to the point to where I can do what I want when I want, and I'm not tied down. Like if I want to get up and go or whatever like that. And if I've got some stuff to do downtown at the bank one day, just get up and walk out, just so freely, so peacefully, like that freedom. It's not everybody. I think in my younger life has kind of looked at me in the last few years and been like, well, he's on some kind of goal to get to be some kind of uh, a babu prince goddess or whatever, trying to get $1 million or $2 million or whatever. But like, or well, higher than that, we'll say 6 million, because honestly, just the way the day and age has got, with wages not coming up and inflation, the prices rising, it's like in 2005, 1 million would have been a heck of a retirement. Now in 2025, 1 million, if you're 26 years old and you got to make it to 85 with modern day medication, 1 million really ain't going to get you as far as it would had in 2005 if you were just now retiring. So yeah, you do, like in small towns like this, yes, you can still retire more than happy on 300, 400,000 if you're at retirement age, 50, 60, 70. But if you're a young man and you retire early in a small town on 300,000, you better start looking at your financial statement and planning that out and actually having a goal for that.
300 so far. Dollars, not thousand.
Hey, I understand that completely. I'm right there with you, because it's just so hard to get ahead, today, guys. And these young men out here are busting their tails, and every time they get just a little bit ahead, just something just knocks them in the head, knocks them back down. But long story short, I don't feel retired yet, but I feel like I'm finally on the right track. And if a few of these things, like they say, you gotta just throw things at the wall, and then eventually something will stick. So I feel like I'm on the right path now, that eventually something's going to stick. And then, like you said, I just want to get to the point to where I can just do something that I don't necessarily love for 5, 10, 15 years. But I mean, fortunately speaking, I've been blessed, guys. Like, I love my main job that I do, because I get to drive, I get to travel, I get to see sun every day, I get to meet new people, I get to see new states, I get to travel, then I get to come home and do this for you guys, do this channel, do these videos, and then I get a
Spend
little.
time with your
Yeah,
lovely
yeah,
wife and
yeah,
children.
yeah. Spend time with my wife and kids and all. So I mean, really, fortunately speaking, I am blessed. But yes, I am tied down still right now, because I do work for an employer versus being self-employed and starting a business, to where yeah, I still have to wake up on a Monday morning, and I may be gone for till Wednesday, or I may be gone to Thursday. But fortunately speaking, if I can do this for another 15, 20 years, hopefully that's all I'll have to do. I'm not going to have the standard, work 30, 40 years and then be able to retire on a certain amount. I've got my life set up on a trajectory point and a hypothetical outlook and aspect to where if I do this my lifestyle for 15 more years, I will hopefully get to have that, hopefully get to be able to just wake up one morning and have a choice and get my freedom back and say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to do this no more. My oldest son is just now 18 and I'm young. I'm like 45. So, hey, you know what? We're to the point to where like, hey, let's just go to the lake today. Let's just go do something. Let's go sightsee. Let's go travel. Let's go knock some more states off the list. And then hopefully I'll have enough knowledge and skill set by then to keep the ball rolling for me enough to be able to get through. So yeah.
Let me say one
Oh
thing
yeah.
real quick.
Oh,
And
you're good.
I
You're
know you're
good.
grinning, but this is a serious something,
Yeah.
believe it or not. I'm not going to throw
Oh
in a
yeah.
joke, but
Oh, you're good.
I think one reason why I look at things the way I do, I'm so, my life right now is relatively happy and things happen. Sometimes everybody has ups and downs, but overall, it's such a good, I don't know why I'm even sharing this. If anybody stayed in this long, though, maybe it's because somebody needs to hear it. But
Yeah. Yes.
back years ago, this was before you was even born. When I was in a treatment center one time, they was going around the room asking people, what they had always wanted to be or do or whatever that alcohol or drugs or something had took from them, had deprived them of that opportunity of doing it. Everybody was throwing out all this stuff, about wanted to do all these big lofty goals, want to do this and that. And all I could think about was all I'd ever wanted was just to be happy, and there was happy inside my own skin, for some reason. And I didn't have no big lofty goals or nothing. I just didn't want to hate myself no more and hate the world and all that stuff. I just wanted to be happy. And so that's what I told them, that was my goal, just to be happy. And I've done reached that, so I can't ask for no more.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
awesome.
can't ask for any more than that.
Hey, that is awesome, you guys. And you'll understand that later on too. Daddy will be on some more podcasts with us, I'm sure, in the future and stuff. And so we can even talk